Good morning, everyone. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options, coming to you with the morning market preparation video for December 13th, 2017. So yesterday we saw those bulls just kick off and push. Actually kind of surprising that they were so strong ahead of the FOMC meeting, or the FOMC announcement, I should say. And actually making new record highs in both the diamonds and the spiders. However, we've got a bit of a mixed bag of signals here. First, diamonds. Trend is up. Good solid signal here today. Gap up and continuing to move higher here, breaking out to new record highs. We are now, on the Dow, we are now only 500 points away from a 25,000 print. I kind of suspect the market really wants that to happen, but now we're showing just a little bit of uncertainty across a couple places. Now, first, futures here in the diamonds are pushing up this morning, just slightly higher, maybe a little flat. But if we look at the SPY, the SPY gave us a little bit of a, if you guys remember Arsenio Hall, things that make you say, that's kind of what I'm looking at here. A little bit of a shooting star pattern. Found some sellers yesterday and would suggest, a little bit of a rest or pullback could be possible. Now, if all we do is get a little bit of a consolidation here, that certainly would not be a problem. What I would be concerned about is a follow through to the downside here that would actually create a evening star pattern at a top. Now, I'm not trying to predict that's going to happen in any way, shape, or form. It just gives you a little bit of pause when you see a candle like that at a market high. We throw in a little bit of uncertainty like the FOMC, what they're going to do, an upset on the political scene last night that could change the balance of Congress. And we have, that mix of that turbulence that could occur here. So be a little bit cautious. Now, ahead of the FOMC, having a little bit of uncertainty is not abnormal. We do that all the time. But that FOMC announcement, you couple that with a new market high and a little bit of uncertainty in the candle patterns, and we have a recipe for some turbulence here, depending on how the market reacts to some of this news. So kind of keep that in mind as you go forward and as you plan. For me, that means that I'm going to be focusing more on preservation of capital and protecting profits today rather than adding risk. So I've got some really nice profits in my portfolio. If I start seeing bearishness or get concerned that we really could see some selling come into play, I will be capturing those gains to avoid any additional risk around the FOMC announcement. So that's kind of where I stand. I don't really see myself adding risk today. More of a profit-taking protection type of day until we get that FOMC. And of course, anything can happen after that FOMC announcement. Let's take a look at the Qs. Now the Qs, here's what I mean, a mixed bag. The Qs just kind of rested yesterday. Stayed bullish, holding up well, but just chose really not to participate yesterday in the move. And it's healthy for it to consolidate. But seeing the diamonds and SPY reach out for new highs and the Qs just kind of going, not interested, it raises a couple questions. Nothing here is suggesting bearishness. Don't take this wrong. Nothing here is suggesting bearishness, just a little bit of uncertainty. Let's take a look at IWM. Now, IWM just really went the complete opposite direction, putting in a bearish engulfing candle. So here we have a bullish candle in the diamonds, a potentially shooting star top in the SPY, a spinning top doji or a ho-hum day in the Qs, and a bearish candle on IWM. And that's why I say we have a mixed bag of signals here, a little bit of uncertainty. So kind of be aware of that. Now, IWM is still holding above this major support level, and that's a good thing. So there's nothing here that I would really say is just nothing pointing to bearishness yet, but just a little bit of what comes next, uncertainty that we're going to have to watch out for. On the economic calendar day, we have a huge day in the economic calendar. First at 8:30, we have consumer price index. CPI is expected to increase, so consumer prices are going up, and we saw, yesterday that producer prices are going up. That kind of spells inflation, and we'll have to keep an eye on that as we go forward. I know that's one of the things that the FOMC is obviously responding to, is that potential for inflation. Then we have the EIA Petroleum Status Report. That one actually is not predicted forward, but I think last reading, it showed a slight build and a little bit of a concern that demand may not be there, making it difficult for those oil companies to move higher. If we were to get a really bad number here, that could definitely help influence the market to move lower. So we need to see those numbers stabilize here in the petroleum world. And then, of course, the FOMC announcement at 2 o'clock with the FOMC forecast. Now, this is the one that's really probably, we all kind of know we're going to get a rate increase. But this one right here is kind of the wild card. Right now, the FOMC is projecting three rate increases next year. There is speculation that due to the tax reform bill and all this new money that could be floating around, they may change that projection. And so if they were to change that projection and say 4 next year or whatever they decide, we could actually see the turbulence be created as of that change of the forecast forward. So kind of keep an eye on that. And then, of course, that turbulence can continue right on through the Fed's chair press conference. And as Janet Yellen speaks, you never know what's going to happen. So just keep in mind, we're going to go through maybe 45 minutes to an hour of potentially high volatility trading with big intraday reversals possible. So kind of keep an eye on that as you plan your day. Let's take a look on the earnings calendar. We have about 30 companies reporting earnings today. I don't see anything in there that would be particularly market moving, but just make sure that you're checking and making sure that you are protecting yourself if you happen to hold one of the companies that's reporting. They can certainly affect your account. Let's take a quick peek at the VIX. The VIX, even though we were bullish yesterday, the VIX actually pegged a little bit of an increase here yesterday, just showing that little bit of nervousness that might be coming into the market. So let's just be a little bit cautious as we go forward today, remembering that we have lost our edge. And I always say I've lost my edge when the market is controlled by news events, because I kind of relate this to, standing in front of a roulette wheel. Okay. And you're standing in there in front of the roulette wheel and you have a choice. Do I bet on red or do I bet on black? And the illusion is that you have a 50-50 chance of winning. Okay. But we always seem to forget that there's an uncertainty in that wheel, and that is the two green squares, the 0 and the 0, 0, which gives the house the edge. Now, when you relate that to the market, and you have this illusion that we have a 50-50 chance on a news event, we have to remember that there's so many factors that could occur. You really have to account for those, two green squares that really may take that edge completely away from you. Those things, those unknowns out there that could really affect that. So when I feel like I've lost an edge in the market, I usually pull back. And big news events like this tend to make me want to just pull back, stand aside. I know I don't have to trade every day to be successful. I've been doing it 13 years supporting my family. I know without question, I do not have to be in the market or be trading every day to be successful. So I can stand aside on days like this when I feel like I have no edge and protect myself. So, hey folks, if you find this helpful, if this is the first time you've seen this information, please do me a favor. Click on that subscribe button on YouTube and the follow me button on Facebook. Click those like buttons. I really do appreciate that. That helps those algorithms show this video to more people, and I do appreciate that. And also, thank you very much to those who comment and pass on information to me. I really do appreciate it, and please feel free to do that, as well as share this video with your friends and family if you think that it can be helpful to them. Everyone, have a fabulous day. I wish you great profits, and I will talk to you all bright and early tomorrow morning. Take care, everyone.